Hi, my lovely air signs. How are you? Welcome to your weekly reading for the week of April 22nd through the 28th. Let's get started. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, in that order. Thank you for all of those who put timestamps. I really appreciate it, and I know others do too. All right, air signs, or Gemini. Gemini. What is going on in Gemini's realm this week? Whoa, what's up? What's up, Geminis? What is going on in Gemini's realm this week? Are you dealing with a water sign? Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces? Ooh. Oh my goodness. Geminis. What we have here is oh boy. What we have potential or speculation of a third party situation. Now, I'm saying speculation very lightly because we actually do in fact see three different people here. So aside from this, we see confusion. We see an angry Aries or a fire sign that is not playing. Really Aries, okay? Like Queen of Wands and Emperor, both Aries, or a fire sign. But they are angry. There is heartbreak. But look, Geminis, you're dealing with the water sign most likely. You could be dealing with the Aries, or both. They could be dealing with the Aries. Here you are, though. Here you are. This is what we need to talk about. You. In your sitting in your nature, like you're being you to 100%. And while sometimes I can speak negatively of this card, it's a beautiful energy to be a Gemini and to be able to separate emotion from tasks at hand and stick to the plan, stick to your goal, and leave emotions for later. Okay? Not to push them down in you because they matter a great deal. However, it's different when you are focusing on what you're doing and not letting emotions get the best of you than when you actually let the emotions get the best of you. This is somebody who lets emotions get the best of them. It's self-sabotaging behavior. You don't subscribe to that behavior. And neither does the King of Cups when he's upright. Now, both of you very much so subscribe to that behavior when you're like this. This is horrible, horrible behavior, as is this. So when we look at these underlying cards, this threat or this heartbreak, this angry person, confusion, we see two important cards. It's not over. It's not as bad as it seems. They're not leaving. I'm going to leave it at that. Good. It's time to, in an effort to separate yourself from these emotions and whatever this mess is, potential mess, all this confusion, it's time to just keep yourself out of it and put your head down and focus on work, which is her energy anyway. So We had 3 aces, all reversed, confusion with the Ace of Swords, lack of passion, lack of initiation, and lack of stability, or lack of a promising new beginning that seems stable getting off the ground, or it's not as stable as you thought it was. Something along those lines. Also, in a benefit position, this did come out reversed, but it is challenge benefit. So if we look at this as a benefit, this is telling us that we can... first, this can be a phallic symbol, so we could be talking about this fire sign, like there could be passion with this fire sign on some level, but we are also talking about you pulling in that emotions and using that anger, using that love, using that happiness, that elation to fix this situation. Money situation, stability issues. So in your past, we have a beautiful, promising, this is probably why everybody's so upset in this reading, this beautiful, promising situation here. This could be a wedding or an engagement or a gathering of family members in the recent past. Could be with this earth sign, could be with this fire sign. There's warm communication coming from these 2 people towards you, maybe offering assistance in this scenario. It's a little overwhelming, though, Geminis. It's a little overwhelming, and it actually is offering you a lot of confusion. This person might be trying to force their views on you. So the answer in your near future is to rest your mind. Try not to get overwhelmed. Try not to let it get the best of you. And that's exactly what you do. You don't succumb to analysis paralysis. Good. You're being very self-controlled in the midst of whatever this is, all of this, coming from such a hopeful, beautiful, warm place. How they view the situation is the 10 of Cups. So I don't know if it's this person, I don't know if it's this person, but they're viewing this as something that they thought was going to be a happy situation that ended up actually not being a happy situation. So you're hoping and fearing that either they come out of the woodwork and get their mind right, or you're also hoping that you can sustain this mental control over yourself and progress forward throughout the rest of the week, throughout the rest of the month. Now, in your outcome, we do have the 10 of Swords. So whatever this is about, these people, this anger, this confusion, you're holding strong throughout. It's not going to end in your favor. And if we had kept going in this deck, we also see the Wheel of Fortune reverse. We also see massive transformation, lack of success, lack of abundance. So there's issues here, Gemini. You're dealing with it, 1, the best that you can, but 2, in a very intelligent, bright way of understanding your own mental control and not letting emotions get the best of you. Let's pull a couple outcome cards. What is the outcome of this reading for Geminis? What is the outcome of this reading for Geminis? The outcome this week is taking swift action. You're resting your mind, but you're not going to get bogged down in this. You're just like, no, I'm not subscribing to all of this pressure that's being put on me. I want a win-win situation. We can't sit here and take time out. This is an indication that you are going to need to do some healing. You are going to need to rest your mind, definitely. But I think your initial response to this, to the 3 of Swords, to this, your initial response, Geminis, is in fact trying to keep this as kosher as possible and as honest as possible, and also trying to lighten any burden for you and everybody else involved, whatever this is about. Because it's an unsettling week for you, but you really are doing the best that you can in maintaining your own self-control in it. And I congratulate you for that, because not a lot of people can do it the way that you can. All right, I love you, Geminis. Watch your monthly, because this is going to tie right into what I'm talking about in the monthly. Heavily tie right into it, okay? All right, I love you, Geminis. Let's get moving on to Libras. Hi, Libras. How are you? This is Shooting Stars Tarot. Let's get to your weekly reading. What is going on in Libra's life the week of April 22nd through the 28th? What is going on in Libra's realm this week? Watch your monthlies, Libras. You kind of had a really cool message with this Uranus transit. I want you to hear what I have to say about it, because it's going to be impacting you in pretty cool ways. If you hear snoring, that's my pug. She can't help it. Okay, so we have this high energy card called the Ace of Wands. Cool. This is beautiful, because you are, you have two aces, Pentacles and Wands. We could be dealing with money. We could be dealing with passion. We could be dealing with sex. We could be dealing with stability, new starts. This is coming from your past, seeking stability, seeking a job, seeking a contract, seeking an earth sign, seeking a fire sign. So either way, regardless of who and what sign, Libras, you are taking a very passionate approach to this person or this situation. Very passionate. You're wanting to start fresh, start anew, and you have a high level of energy that's going into it. I think because you actually are seeing the potential here. There's things that they have shown you in the past that offer a very promising beginning, and you're about to get after it in a major way. You're not separating yourself from them or the situation. You may need to think a little bit first, a little more than you are, Libras. It's your nature to think very clearly and weigh out all your options. That's your standard nature. So this reading is suggesting that you do that. This Hanged Man is suggesting that you do that. That's a benefit. That's your nature. That's what's going to help in this situation. And the reason why I'm saying that is because either you have not been trustworthy, or the situation or the person is not trustworthy. This is a card of getting caught. So you already know this. This is all out in the open. But I think your response to it, by not leaving, is a good one. You may be in a little bit of a mental cage or mental prison about it, but at the same time, you are taking appropriate action to deal with it. And that is very quickly trying to, one, move away from this that hurt you, or you're getting over a past situation and moving into a new one very quickly because you don't want to sit here. So that could be you're a little unsure if it's the right decision, or you're not 100% ready to make the decision yet, Libras. And again, we're only talking about a week-ish time frame here, so time in that regard moves very quickly. This other person or energy or business contract, whatever, they are viewing you as somebody that needs to come forward, and they're not. And you're not, because you're still trying to make this decision. You're still weighing things out. You haven't left the scenario yet. You're well aware of what's going on and how it's making you feel. But you're quickly moving towards getting to a safer place mentally so you can make this decision. They want you to hurry up. And this is hopes and fears. You're fearing it's not going to work out. You're fearing that you won't be together. You're fearing that contract's not going to come through. You're feeling there's not going to be anything to celebrate. However, there actually is emotional bliss on the other side. Again, wait. Definitely a decision needs to take place. There could be 3 parties involved. We could be dealing with someone with a lot of money, an ex, and you need to be very strong about it. I'm not going to go too deep into that. I'm going to leave the Hermit out, though. All right. I'm going to pull some clarifiers specifically on this 7 of Swords. Let's clarify this 7 of Swords for Libras. Let's clarify this 7 of Swords for Libras. You don't want to play that game. You know about it. That's enough for you. Now you're deciding how to respond. Please clarify this 2 of Swords for Libras. Yeah, this delay in making this decision is in a self-preservation manner. But look at this outcome. Please clarify this 10 of Cups. I'm not taking this. It's a big pile. Please clarify this 10 of Cups for Libras. And then offer 3 outcome cards off the top of the deck. There's uncertainty about this being the outcome. Oh! Yeah, you don't want to be single. You definitely want to like settle down or fix money situations, or you want them to fix money situations. Oh my goodness. Outcome is continued. This is somebody else. These are other people imposing their views or trying to get you to do something. The answer here is to stand your ground and be very certain, even if you're not 100% certain, be very certain about where you stand emotionally. If this hurt, it hurt. If it's going to end, it's going to end. If you're going to get over it, you're going to get over it. If you're still deciding if you're going to get over it or how fast, then you're still deciding. Own up. This is you owning up to you and where you stand with respect to all this other stuff. This is other people trying to tell you, act this way, do this, get revenge this way, say this, manipulate them this way, right? So be conscientious of this. You don't have to employ their suggestions. Stick to your guns, Libras. Stick to your guns, okay? Because this is, you're confused as to if this is going to manifest or not. This is saying that it is, but you're confused and you have a great deal of fear that it's not. So wait it out. Decide slowly. Don't let other people rush you this week, okay? All right, Libras, let's move on to Aquarius. Hi, Aquariuses. How are you? Let's get to your weekly reading. I'm having the hardest time shuffling today. Aquariuses. What is going on in your realm April 22nd through the 28th? Be sure to watch your monthly video if you have not watched it yet. I just posted yours. I talk a lot about these 2 transits that are taking place. It clearly shows up in the reading. This is leading right into it. So watch this and then watch your monthly. All right. Oh my goodness. What are the messages for Aquariuses this week? Aquarius, is you want someone to stay. Not that they're leaving, but you want them to stay. And you're willing to pull out any stops to get it to happen. The problem here is your actions. I'm specifically talking about this Knight of Swords and this Page of Swords. Your actions are showing and proving that you are not working from a clear head. So you don't want this to end. You want them to stay. However, there is healing that is needing to be done. You're showing a lack of regret when in fact there may actually need to be some regret. There's manipulation and lack of learning. Now, normally the Page of Swords, everyone always says it's the stalker card and someone's spying on you. And so when it's reversed, we think good, we're not being stalked. But it's a card actually of learning one's surroundings and gathering information so we can use it to our benefit. So when you're acting a certain way, not having all the information when you act a certain way, not healing, not having regret, but only having one thing in your mind, one outcome, then it's going to cause problems. It's that simple. So let's look at this reading. In the past, we have the Strength card reversed, and this is showing lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, or lack of ability to control one's inner beast. You are actually being very generous, though, and open to fixing this, okay? But I think there needs to be some internal analysis that's done first. And please don't get offended. I am just reading the cards. I think there needs to be some internal analysis of what actions are. Now, you could be dealing with another air sign that's acting like this. But this is not a good grouping of cards. Like, at all. This is irrational, erratic, speculative, selfish behavior. Egotistical behavior. Unwillingness to see other options, other ways of acting, other ways of thinking. This is closed-minded, one-sided behavior. And it's crossed by the Two of Cups. That may be why you're acting like this, because when you really are caring about somebody, or there's a strong connection, or even if it's just a chemical connection with somebody, and we're open to it so much, and we can't even control ourselves around them. Like, that sounds like all good stuff, but it actually can really inhibit the growth and development of the relationship. You could be dealing with an earth sign. You don't have to be, but it actually causes one person to become fearful of either the amount of openness or the amount of this stuff that's happening. And then they shut down. Where they used to, or you used to, just be very open and inviting, that is no longer the case. But look, it's not all the way over, Aquarius. It's not over. This burden will soon be lifted. How you're viewing them or the situation is somebody that is very closed off. So you could, in fact, be dealing with an earth sign that just decided to pull away from you, and it's stressing you out. They're not gone. It's not as drastic as it seems, as it feels. But they have, in fact, shut down on some manner when they used to be very open. That's when the love was good. They're watching you display this behavior, and they're saying, nope, I'm not going to get into a commitment with somebody that's going to act like that. So here you are fearing that they're not going to come back, and there's a huge internal battle about what to do. And this is telling you what to do, Aquarius. Okay? You need to do some introspection, some healing. You need to come towards them in an honest way that's full of integrity and honesty, and hear them out. That's what that Page of Swords is. It's not so much about spying and getting information in this type of a reading for you. It's like you got to hear them out and understand, or at least have empathy and compassion to their views, and take that into account before you take action or say something or do something that you should regret but aren't, or haven't been regretting. Hearing them out and understanding, even if we're talking about somebody at work or a neighbor, okay, hear them out. Give them the benefit of the doubt. There's that popped out again. I'm just going to leave it right there. It's like the crux. I was going to clarify some things. Let's clarify this Five of Wands. Okay, nothing really shady is taking place. I think there's speculation. So don't let it ruin the relationship. And the same with them, but you guys need to like get together and talk about this. You guys really need to let them talk and vent and hear them out. So they feel heard, and then be very open and honest about your feelings towards them. And then when everything's out on the table, healing, resting, sorting out one's thoughts. What are the outcome messages for Aquarius this week? Take the lead. Take the lead, okay? Or let them take the lead. If you're dealing with a fire sign, and you very well could be, if they're trying to reach out to you, let them respond, okay? Don't leave your emotions completely cut off. This has to either end or go to a new phase. You're at this kind of turning point in your relationship, or whatever the situation is that you're watching and thinking about while you're watching this. Let this be a turning point for it to either officially end and get everything out on the table and make your decision accordingly, or go to the next level and forgive and forget and move forward. So either let them take the lead or you take the lead. Be available. You guys are looking right at each other. Is this going to stay or is this going to go? All right? Communicate. Come together in this resolution or this change, and things will feel smoother. They will feel less daunting. You will have the information. They will have the information. Okay? All right, Aquariuses, watch your monthly too, because this is gonna feed right into the May monthly. Okay, all right. I love you guys. I will see you next week. Bye, Aquariuses.